Hideo Kojima, creator of Death Stranding, was explaining his game to the BBC back in November, and he said the following: "You interact with other players by giving thumbs up or likes. There is no way to interact negatively." Well, it appears this quote has come back to bite him on the backside, as some players of the game are making other players' lives an absolute misery. Here to discuss how a game made for connecting is being used for trolling is Mr. Henry, I always park responsibly, Cooper.
I mean, that's even if you get past the terrible driving, at least I can park responsibly.
I have to take your word for that.
So, Death Stranding, in case you didn't know, it's set in a post-apocalyptic version of Earth. A horrible event has happened, the world's buggered. But now players are facing another world-altering event, and that is badly parked trucks. Now, this is in the game that's all about connecting people and cooperating with others to build different structures and leaving things behind for people, but that won't stop the internet doing what the internet always does, ruining it for everybody else. So in case you don't know, Death Stranding, the whole point is that you work together to do stuff. You can build structures together, or you can leave resources behind for people like ladders or climbing ropes, but you can also leave vehicles. So the idea is that if there's a long stretch ahead of you, have a bike. It'll make your trip so much faster. Are you carrying a load of gear over another long stretch? Here, have a big old truck for some extra storage. It's specifically designed to encourage you to help each other, but people aren't placing these vehicles to help each other strategically, but to block your path and just troll you instead, because that's what the internet likes to do.
So Eurogamer have highlighted this issue in an article where obviously players are getting miffed and leaving Reddit posts requesting that Death Stranding changed the fact that you can't delete vehicles and that vehicles have been left to block people from getting to the destinations. Griefing is a thing in Death Stranding where the game is all about helping other people. And Eurogamer suggests that it could be a huge issue because it might take so long to get. Part of the game is traveling so far to get somewhere, and if you can't get into that place that you're trying to get into because there's a truck in the way, oh my god, that's annoying. You might need a rocket launch. You might have to go and get a rocket launcher, and then you might have to be faced with another big journey and come back and blow it up, right?
You don't even get a spoiler alert. You don't even get a rocket launcher until pretty much right at the end of the game anyway. So, but one of the locations that's particularly bad for this, and Eurogamer's pulled a couple of pictures from Reddit, and I'll throw these up so you can see too. One of the locations that's particularly bad is with the cosplayer, and spoiler alert again, just in case you didn't know, that's where you can meet famous late night talk show host Conan O'Brien, and he gives you a ridiculous hat that means you can float better in water. So he lives in a sort of small ravine kind of pit type thing, and then underground, so he's kind of tucked into a wall in the middle of a pit, and it's really easily blocked by trucks, and it's difficult to navigate on foot anyway due to uneven terrain. So if you've got a load of stuff on you, you're probably going to fall over and smash half of it. In my opinion, the best approach to this area altogether is just to climb down with climbing anchors and rappel down and leave your vehicle at the top. And I mean, you should always come with climbing equipment on you in your inventory anyway. I mean, this is Death Stranding. You're going to be doing a lot of climbing.
You've got to think ahead.
Exactly. The whole point is inventory management. It's inventory management in the game. But having vehicles in the way, especially as with this picture where it's literally covering the door, there's not a lot you can do. A lot of the times you can just jump in the car if there's a car on the road. You can just hop in, drive it out of the way yourself, get out, get back on your journey. This one, that car's not going anywhere, and the cars can jump.
Yeah, I mean, to illustrate that issue, there's a picture here of the truck on the staircase as the image, as I like to call it. And yeah, this is this is an example of what I've learned today, because I've not played the game, is that trucks can jump. Now, I can suspend my disbelief somewhat for this game, right? I can get the concept of invisible monsters, the fact that rain accelerates time somehow, that babies live in jars and corpses explode on a nuclear level. I get that, right? I can get behind that. But trucks that jump, that's just a little bit too far for me.
Even jump is perhaps a stretch, because it's sort of a weird bounce and then it'll land awkwardly and spin out of control. The driving controls are not good in this game, unfortunately.
Maybe it's just a bad driver. Maybe it's a woman driver. Am I allowed to say that?
But you don't say that.
Well, there we go. Now we're in trouble.
Now I'm in trouble. But see, on a serious note, because that was a joke before anyone's knickers getting a twist, that's a bad joke as well.
You're digging the hole.
Shit, I should stop digging. No, but seriously, is this a big problem? That truck on a staircase, can you get around it? Do you need a rocket launcher? What's going on here, Henry?
You could probably climb around it, especially if you've got a ladder or something. But in this picture, this guy's got a load of stuff attached to a carrier, and you can't really climb stuff with those. You can to an extent, but it will get hooked, and then it will drop, and then everything will smash, and it's not what you want. Especially as this is right in front of the destination. It's right there.
Right. Another example is the truck in a road, as I like to call it, this image. A truck's in the road, you can just get into the truck and drive it a little bit out of your way if you want to get past it, right? That's no big deal, that one.
Yeah, that's not too much an issue. This does look like one of the bridges that is one of the roads that's kind of acting like a bridge, so it's up in the air. So you'll probably have to jump down and climb around and all that, which is a bit annoying. But they are planning to add a patch coming in mid-December, which will give players the ability to delete other players' vehicles. You can delete your own, but eventually you'll be able to delete other players. And that sounds convenient, but there's a question of what that means for the game itself. So let's just roll with this. The tweet says, "Good news, we're working on another update to address the most common requests from players, such as the ability to increase tech size or dispose of individual vehicles. The update is set for around mid-December. We appreciate all your thoughtful feedback. #Death Stranding." Now, there's a bit of a question with me whether or not this actually works with the game's theme of connection and humanity working together. Because if you're taking control of players' decisions in the game, that kind of undermines the point of your message. Because Sam's character, the character you play as, he doesn't care about connection. He just wants to do his own thing. He's completely disregarding humanity. So if you're sort of taking control of the way people are doing it, you're sort of proving him right in a way, but it does make the gameplay experience better, so it's kind of a weird one.
Yeah, a couple more things that Hideo Kojima said of the game when talking to BBC early in November, just to provide a little bit of context on this discussion. So he said, "You'll start thinking about others when you play and how you might be able to help them, and I want to create an experience in the game that people can use in the real world, like thinking about how we connect." So the whole point of the game seems to be how you help people, right?
Yeah.
And if this is true, we haven't got to that yet, whether this is griefing or just like lazy people just being inconsiderate. Either way, it kind of undermines the whole point of why he's made this game, right?
Yeah, if he wants to convince people, encourage people to work together, if people aren't doing that, he has arguably failed in his objective to make people think like that.
Because that's what some people say he's made the game for.
Yeah.
To try and make people think on a broader level outside of gaming, just in lives in general, how they connect, how you can be a good person in the world and think about how you connect with other people. And it's just so ironic, and that's a beautiful irony out of that. The fact that people are or could be possibly doing this on purpose to block other people. I think the whole thing's so funny.
It's a really kind of innocent outlook that Kojima has on the world. I really, really like Death Stranding, but I think he kind of misunderstands a lot of the human condition and is very idealistic, which I do respect. But the thing that annoys me the most is when you go to where a climbing anchor is marked on your map and someone's not throwing the rope back down. So when you climb it, you pull yourself up, you get to the top, and then when you press the button to let go, he'll just chuck it behind him. But if you're not facing kind of the right way, he'll just leave it in a pile on the thing because the rope, physics won't make it fall down. So you get there's a huge cliff face. I can't do anything because someone's stolen my anchor that I put there with my own damn work.
These inconsiderate bastards.
Inconsiderate arseholes!
Playing a game about helping people. I mean, just get a life in it, you trolls.
Yeah. This speaks a lot about the people who are doing this. Like, if this is the game that you thought was for you, and it's all about this connection and being nice, it's a very friendly kind of hippy-dippy attitude, you're just coming in to ruin it, you've got to reevaluate your life.
Could this be people just being inconsiderate, though? It doesn't necessarily have to be trolling.
It could just be people forgetting where they left stuff, because the amount of times where you'll park somewhere, or because your truck's run out of battery, because it doesn't run on fuel, it just runs on battery, and it takes forever to recharge unless you get to a charging point, and they're kind of few and far between. So you just leave it there. I'm like, okay, I'll just walk the rest, and then it's too far away to go back to it, and it's probably not charged, so you'll just kind of forget about it.
And as somebody who's played the game and completed the game, Henry, maybe you can answer this next question. Is part of the problem the fact that you have to park so close to these locations in order to unload your cargo or be able to access your stash?
In some locations, yeah, because there's big ones where you can drive inside, you can go into your little private room where you can look at horrendous product placement. Those ones you can just pull your car in and and that will collect everything inside it from wherever you are. But then there's some where you can't really bring your car in. It's just one boxy room. And those you've got to park close by in order to have your stuff like register with the terminal. Otherwise it's like out of range. And that's kind of annoying. I feel like if they just increase the collection area to include everything in all your nearby vehicles, that would be fine, because there's already a ring. There's like a boundary around all the areas where it tells you can't use weapons. That's where you start scanning stuff and whatever. So if they just extended the collection area for everything in your vehicles to that area, that would completely solve the problem of having to park in front of the door. And then there's some cases where I don't think it's trolling, not just people being ignorant, but I think it's sort of a server problem, and it's not like a glitch or anything. It's just the way the game is loaded in terms of different instances. So the game world is populated with items from other players that they've put in their world and then shared with yours, but it's not all the same. It's not ubiquitous for everyone. It's not every single item in every single world, because that would be impossible. There's going to be too many things going on. The world will look ridiculous. But sometimes you'll find one lone zip line not connected to anything. That's because I feel, I don't have any evidence, but it's just a hunch, that the game has loaded in this one and not loaded in another one. Mr. XX123's put one here, and he's also put one at the top of that cliff so you can, make the journey. But the game's only chosen to load in one of them. I think that's part of it. It's not loading in everything. So when it gets to building roads, someone will just park their car where a road will be, but the road's not there yet. So when the road, you built it in your world, it's loaded in the car, but they didn't have the road, so the car's just kind of there in your path. And again, the road one's not that much of an issue, but I think it's sort of a kink they need to iron out with how they load stuff in and what they choose to, because it'll all be automated, and it'd be difficult to manually go through and check every in-game item that is going to potentially be in a shared world. But some stuff you've just got to get rid of. Luckily, I've not seen anything like hilariously offensive, like people drawing pictures with ladders. I'm not seeing anything like that. We all know the internet. I'm sure they've tried to do that. They must have culled that.
Well, this issue will be resolved in mid-December when the patch finally arrives. So whether it is trolling, or it's just inconsiderate people, or server issues, or maybe it's just those damn Americans that just don't understand the game.
They don't understand it.
Hideo Kojima.
Go play your first-person shooters.
One thing's for sure, Polygon have got a really bad take on this. At the bottom of their article on this subject, they say the following: no matter how hopeful the thesis and themes of your game, it seems there will always be a few bad apples who just want to see the world burn.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Well, there you have it, guys. People who just want to have a little laugh in their game are burning the world, according to Polygon. Let's just leave it at that.
It's just basic trolling. It's a little bit annoying if there's a car in the way, and you'll be able to delete it. If not, just dump your stuff somewhere else and come back to it later. It doesn't break the game. It's fine. Anyway, that's all we've got to say about Death Stranding at the moment. And make sure to let us know if you've played it and you've experienced any idiots leaving their cars behind, or are you the idiot who leaves their car behind, and are you the idiot who keeps yanking your rope up over the mountain so I can't fucking climb it?
All right, Henry, calm down.
I will come for you. I will destroy you. Anyway, make sure to let us know down below. Leave a like, hit subscribe, and of course the bell. Go on over to patreon.com/prettygoodgaming to support the content we create. I've been Henry. He's been Gaz. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.